Morning crew, my name's Andy Young and I'm one of the automotive lecturers down at Unitech in Auckland, New Zealand, and welcome to my Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now, I've been really busy recently doing lots and lots of marking, trying to get my students to submit all their work. But I've taken the morning off, and the reason for that is one of my fellow lecturers requires some welding doing on his old Volvo. Now, I can't even remember what model of Volvo it is. It's white and it's got a bit of a crusty bit on the floor pan. So I said, look, I could do with a bit of a breather, bring it on down to the workshop, we'll take a look, and fingers crossed we can get that, get a patch made up, cut out the old rotten stuff and weld the new bit in. So I can't really tell you much more than that. I've seen a pretty fuzzy picture of what needs to be done. I do know that there's some brake lines and unfortunately steel fuel lines pretty much exactly where we need to weld the plates. So I'm going to have to move all of those obviously well out of the way and check for fuel leaks as well. We don't want any possible smell of fuel vapor is going to be a no-no, isn't it? I've blown too many cars up in my time and I don't want to add another little line to the chalk marks on the wall. That wouldn't be good. Anyway, so I'm just waiting for Steve to arrive. I'm going to grab a coffee, and when he gets here, then we'll take a look and see what needs to be done and plan our attack. Okay. So here we are. Steve's car's arrived. Went the long way around though, didn't it, Steve? It thought it was a bicycle for a while. Okay, so underneath, we had a quick look around earlier on, and we've got, that's the major hole there, look, we've got that to fix. Now, these two pipes here, these are unfortunately just brake lines. So we're not too concerned about those, brakes aren't that important, but down here, this is a fuel line. So I've got to release these clips and try and get that as far away from the ignition source of the MIG as possible, because there's going to be quite a bit of heat generated when I come to replace that bit of floor pan. Now, unfortunately, it's getting a little bit crispy. There's a few other really minor areas, especially a bit further down. I've got one here, look, you can see there's a hole just in there, and another one there. And there's a few bits really where, well, the welding's just sort of hanging in there, to be honest. So, but I think what we'll do is we'll address that from the top side, and we'll do the welding from the inside on these holes. And that could be the case for the other one. We'll just see what the axis is going to be like from the inside. I'm just not too sure how far forward we can get. But that looks like carpet, so fingers crossed we can do that. Okay, let's make a start. I don't know how good a video this is going to be, but we'll see what turns out. Look at that, I've managed to put the camera on your sunroof. Clever shit, isn't it?
So, yes. I thought...
So
you have to understand part of the history of this. Part of the history
this kind of car, Steve, has to have lots of history. It's like an old English castle, isn't it?
I got this car when I'm a single provider, providing for a family of 4.
Yeah.
So single income, wife at home, 2 teenage kids, providing for a family of 4, etc.
Yeah.
And so money's really tight.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that position anymore.
No.
You know, I can afford to get the headliner done now if I want to.
Well, you could afford to get a newer car.
I don't need anything fancy.
No, well, me too. I mean, look, you know, I say to my students, why do I drive a 26-year-old Nissan Patrol? That's older than this, isn't it? What's this, 88?
This is an 88.
Oh, you're older. Mine's 92.
Yeah.
So, not far off, though. And I'm pretty sure there's more rust on my truck than there is on your car.
Probably. But I'm not a materialist at heart. You know?
I prefer function. Apart from when it's women.
We won't talk about your appetite or your consumption of women.
Hey, listen, I'm going to have to do lots of editing now. This is no good.
Oh, you're recording it at this time?
Yeah, we're taking the seat out, Steve.
Oh, well, we're talking about it.
Right, I found a part of the... Hey, if you're not careful, you might end up with some RAV4 suspension back on the car.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a seat bolt. There's a seat bolt.
14mm, but you need a wobbly for some of them.
Go and get us a ratchet and a short extension and a 12, Steve. A 12, please.
13.
Yeah. That's one. Now, I take it, being a Volvo, these are going to be those really fancy sort of electric seats with heated.
No,
There's going to be all this wiring harness going in.
This is 88. I've got good manual adjustments on the other side.
Good man.
But this side is just a simple seat, and it's really fancy because the seat goes back and forth.
Jeez, that seat wasn't going to fall out, was it?
No, that's what I mean. It's not 12, but
Right, do you know where the rear seat bolts are? Oh, that was easy.
yeah, that's why we have to. Well, here. Let me introduce you to something.
Now,
See,
your seat belt's part of the seat, isn't it?
when time is money, you do this. That's part of the reason for the long extension.
I'm a lecturer, Steve. I don't have to rush around anymore.
Well, see, I used to be a working technician where time is money.
Yeah, but I'm making videos now. I can take all the time in the world.
Let's see. Now, have you got some of the seat paraphernalia? Where you're putting it all?
I'm stacking it all up on it at the moment.
Oh, all up here. Okay.
Right, I'm just going to pull your seatbelt off. So that's
Pull it all in one
looks like a
place.
19 to me.
Now, should I have brought my own hose?
No, we've got one over there.
Because will the hose reach down here?
Yeah.
Because that's what I would recommend setting up as fire control.
I think fire control's a very good idea.
Because that's what I've seen. When you get in trouble, the hose puts it out, takes away the heat. It'll do anything. And I don't care if we have to flood the inside of the car.
Well, it's better than, it burning to a crisp.
Yeah. And I purposely, just for your sake, I didn't fill up the tank before I came.
For my sake. Right, we must have another bolt in there somewhere.
So, what are you talking about? The seat?
Yeah.
There are some wires to the heat for the seat. But there should be
I was
just.
joking about heat.
But it should be just 4.
Okay.
I thought it was just 4.
Maybe it's just trapped on the carpet. Maybe we'll
Oh, is it maybe this seat belt? Did you get this seat belt?
well, that's probably bolted to the frame of the seat, isn't it?
I think. Okay, look at all the rubbish.
Yeah.
Somebody's not very tidy.
Oh, you should see some of the cars that come into Eric the Car Guy.
Oh,
This is clean.
well, I did wash it yesterday for you. I didn't want.
I hadn't noticed, Steve. Actually.
You should have seen it when it was dirty. It's feasibly possible.
Yeah, there's definitely one more bolt. There must be. Because I can pivot it on it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, where's the pivot point?
In the middle. In the middle. So there must be one from underneath. We've got movement, but it's definitely still bolted down.
Do that again. Where's the pivot point?
Right in the middle.
It is right in the middle, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's about here.
So,
About there. Let me get a screwdriver and scrape out some of that gunk.
yeah.
I wonder if it's just like a pin.
Yeah,
So
it's
maybe
like-
it drops
it's-
down and it slots back and then you put the bolts in?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's just some sort of a catch that provides additional support, but it's not bolted in. It's a slide in of some sort.
Hang on, sorry. Well, that rail does seem to move forward slightly.
But
on,
see,
on that
the
side.
other thing that we're thinking about, yeah, the rail does. I thought I'd had these out before.
You probably have. Let me just see if I can get a copper hammer on that rail and just see if we can tap it forward.
You sure you still want the seats out?
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna have to have sparks. There's gonna be sparks going everywhere. There'll be fires, all sorts of stuff going on. So we're definitely well out of alignment now on this rear mount.
Yeah, the front one's only gone a little bit. Now, if you were to design this for crash protection, you would want it to go forward and lock into place. You would want it to go back to release. You,
Okay,
you,
let's
follow,
give that
my,
a go, yeah.
you follow my logic?
So, tap it back.
Because most...
Yeah, you're right. So the further forward it comes, the more it locks into that.
so try the backward tap and see.
Let me just get a punch then, because I can't quite get in with that. It's a first for me. Yeah, we've got movement, Steve.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Man, we're good, aren't we?
Between the two of us, we might make a whole mechanic.
Yeah.
And see, I don't worry about any electric because I don't use the seat heater.
No, but I can have it. Unplug it. There we go.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize it was still plugged in.
Yeah. Okay.
Come a long way from there.
Looks like an aerial wire, doesn't it, that one?
Probably is. Probably radio.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's why you didn't want me taking the seat out, wasn't it? Alright, I'm gonna cut that.
That's no problem. That's
Have a free bit of plastic.
I wonder where that came
Right,
from.
standing load.
That's it. Well, that may be, if I can get a ride home, I do have another car I can drive.
Okay.
I do have another car I can drive at home.
Okay.
My oldest daughter's got a Z3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did the brakes on it.
Yeah, she had when I bought her a Suzuki, and so she doesn't need the Z3 anymore.
Oh, cool.
So it's sitting there. It's all warranted and registered, and everything. I drive. I just don't like it.
No, well, it is a BMW at the end of the day, isn't it? That's all.
I mean, it's just a cheap little convertible.
Well, you'd be a bit better now than you were there.
Oh yeah, I'm much better than what I was.
Oh, there's already a hole in it. That's cool.
Well, that'll be where the holder was.
Come on, Blade. Do your thing. It's always good when the customer can't see what you're doing, isn't it? No, it's my car.
Do I seem like your super picky customer?
No. Look, daylight.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I wonder where my engine noise was coming from.
Yeah, look, that's that thing.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
That's the one, and it did need to be. Yeah, see, in an accident, it will go forward and lock. Well, I mean, it was already locked, but yeah.
Okay, well, we found some more holes, unfortunately. Haven't we, Steve?
Lots
Yeah.
of holes. But just a simple little triangular plate right there.
There used to be a Volvo here at some point. Okay, well, we'll have all that to
That was, what, 30 years ago?
Yeah, so the next step, and I haven't done a video on this. I've done loads of these before, but I've never done a video on it. The next step is we've got to break off all this sound deadening. The colder it is, the better it is, because this tends to go quite brittle when it's cold. So you just hammer it with a ball peen, it tends to flick off and just jump out of the way, because we've got rust. Even though that's the hole just down there, we've got a big crusty, you know, but we haven't got any metal basically, obviously. So I'm going to remove the bulk of this.
Sound deadening material is really strong.
It makes up for it, absolutely. So you know, I just want to find out how big a plate I need to put in here.
Yeah.
We've definitely got a chunk down here to do, and I think there's going to be some kind of maybe a triangular piece going in there as well. And
yeah,
you know, we want to be welding right up here somewhere where it's nice and solid.
good metal.
You know, staying away from that kind of rubbish. But,
Yeah, I know you can't.
let's find out. I'm going to be really noisy now. Oh, there we are. Look, let's get in.
Being kind of rough on my car there, Andy.
Yeah. Somebody has to be, Steve. Band-Aids won't always keep fixing it, you know.
Is this what they call tough love?
Yeah. Cruel to be kind. It looks like maybe we found some metal, which is good.
Well, it's not all rust.
No, I hope not.
Is this going to make it go around corners better now that it's more stiffer body?
It is. It's going to massively improve the handling. Looking at this.
We should have Gerald over here giving his opinion.
Well, he'll watch the watch. How Gerald? He'll be watching the video, I'm sure. Right. Okay. Looks like we've got good metal all the way there. Look. So let's just keep.
I didn't realize that stuff would chip away so easily. It's interesting.
Yeah, if you can get it, if you can shock it. Oh, there we are. Look, another hole. Another hole.
Oh, but there's no light through that one.
Oh, sorry. We'll just fill it up with some super glue or fiberglass. Yeah, well. Okay. Well, not sure what that is. Is that a bug? Was it a... Did they think about making... Oh, there's a hole. Okay. So anyway. Now, if you were in America still, if this was on roadkill, they'd just say that's fine. This is like a new car to them. You know?
In America, we don't do warranty fitness in California.
Right.
So,
Is that where they're based? California? I don't know. But they seem to drive roadkill. They tend to drive anything on the road that looks incredibly
oh, I don't know.
unroadworthy.
I don't know the roadkill stuff.
Okay. So we're looking around about that sort of area, aren't we, really?
Yeah.
Sort of a plate in there, because we've got a hole there. That feels pretty solid there. I like that. This stuff's very good at catching fire. It's like tar.
I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is. Well, petroleum products burn pretty well, and that looks just like a tarry substance
Yeah.
for sound deadening.
Probably some kind of byproduct they were trying to get rid of, and I thought we could sell this.
Yeah.
We could make
absolutely.
money on this.
Which means when we're done, if we did a layer of the undercoat proof stuff on
Yeah.
top as well as the bottom,
Yeah.
that would help make it quieter.
Yeah. Makes it look a lot nicer if they... Okay, I think we've gone far enough.
Now you got a
Maybe that.
whisk broom and a dustpan.
I've got a, yeah, I've got all that.
Yeah. You know, I remember this thing now. Now that you got it out, I remember it.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, I remember. I went through that before. I figured it out. That was a lot. What did I take this apart for? I can't remember what I took the seat out for. You want a putty knife?
No, I'm alright.
I might even have a putty knife.
What I have got is a really good, knackered now, very aggressive wire wheel
Oh, that'll do it.
for the angle grinder. Okay, we need to pull a bit of that off as well.
I remember the last time I just hit it with a hose every once in a while.
No, I need good metal. Because if you just weld it there, it's going to be still partly oxidized, and it's going to react, and you're going to get pigeon shit welding. As if you just go another ½ inch further up,
Yeah.
chances are it's going to be lovely to weld.
Yeah. Well, we want you to have a lovely welding time.
You always find that plates end up being 10 times as big as what you first plan.
Well, that is the way it works sometimes. That's okay. Yeah, see, I'm sort of at the point of this car. Either I get another car, or I put some time and energy and money into this one. I've got one or the other option, because I've got the drivability problem, I've got the fuel pump problem, I've got this rust problem.
Yeah, it starts adding up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it all adds up. And then, but you know, the engine is still
Is that my
nice.
sweat? I think it is, isn't it? You've made me sweat, Steve.
Oh my, the dollar rate
It's not over the edge, it's doubled.
just went up, didn't it? Was it an extra 15% this sweat, or you charge more than that?
I charge the most when somebody helps me, actually. Especially when it's the customer. Yeah. Isn't that the right thing on the posters there?
Yeah, that's the way it works
If you
out.
talk to me, it's this much.
But you realize I'm a fully qualified automotive consultant.
Yeah, you talk about it. Consultant, I like that. I'll talk to you about how to fix it.
So you'd rather I just drop the car off, huh?
No, you're all good. You're all good.
Imagine having your own personal sweeper.
Wow.
Yeah, the wire wheel will do a lot of good with that. It'll just give you a nice surface to weld onto.
Okay, time to hoover all this crap out, I think. Volvos, eh? Well, there you go. We've finally got the front seat out, and man, there's some big holes of rust in there. It's a lot bigger job than what I first thought it was going to be, and a lot bigger than what Steve thought it was going to be as well. But hey, we're into it now, and it needs to be done. I dread to think what other parts of the floor pan are like as well, but I'm not going there. Really not. So we've broken off all the sound deadening, and we can see the extent of the corrosion on that floor pan, which is pretty bad, to be honest. If this was a vehicle in the UK, we'd have scrapped it by now, wouldn't we, Steve?
What?
If this car was in England, it would have got scrapped many years ago.
Oh, they wouldn't have probably allowed it.
No, it would have gone by now. But so we need to hoover out, get rid of all that debris that we've just created, and really inspect and make a decision where the plates are going to go. Now, normally I would completely cut out all the rot and fabricate, cut up new plates to replace it and do butt welds rather than overlapping plates. I'm just not sure with this. There's quite a lot of intricate elements to that floor pan that are required, and it may just be a plate over the top. We'll just have to wait and see. So here we go. Let's crack on. Okay, so I think it's time now to have a good look around and just see how bad this is. Now that's the original hole that we spotted from underneath with the 2 brake lines in the distance there, look. And you can see that corrosion runs all the way across. Obviously it's double skin at that point. And it comes round to, well, pretty much up to this line here. There's a bit of a fold here. And then it runs down and we've got our next big hole down here. So all that's going to need to be dealt with. But again, fortunately, that is double skin. So it's just the top skin that's rotted through on there. So it's a lot better. We've got another hole there. So we want to be coming beyond that. And then, well, we've got a step, pretty much, a very small step running all the way across here. And then this is all pretty good around this area here. Quite happy with that. But I think what we'll be doing is bringing a triangle of steel across down here, past this circular bit, just to make it easier to weld, round the back of here, up this side. Again, on the good stuff, I want to stay well away from anything that's brown because it makes it just impossible to weld. So we'll bring it up here, up onto the firewall, and then we'll bring it, you know, maybe 30-40 mil above this corrosion point up onto here, and we'll weld onto there. Now, because we've got cavities, I really don't want to be cutting all this out. It's going to massively increase the time on the job, and this has turned into quite a big job as it is. It's not a restoration project, it's just to get it back on the road kind of thing. So let's grab some tin and well, we'll get this one done first. This other one, I don't think that's quite as difficult. We're going to be running, well, we're going to be running across the back here maybe, or maybe even across the front, so we can avoid disturbing that. I'll grind these little bits off, we don't need those. Bring it across here to about there, bring it down, and we're going to have to weld top side of this bracket and again top side of that. It's a bit, well, it's a bit dodgy to be honest, isn't it, Steve? But oh look, there's the ground again. Can I get to it? I don't know. Oh no, it's not. It's just a piece of white. That's all right. There's still some metal there, Steve. Look at that. Fantastic. There's the ground. Yes. Okay, well that's supposed to be a hole.
Yeah, there are a few places there where.
Right, so the first job now is to go around with a really aggressive wire brush on the angle grinder and clean up and to mark out where we intend to cover with plate. Right, let's get to it. So we've gone around and we've cleaned up all the metalwork so we can get some nice, you know, good contact when we're welding. And I think basically we're going to have to come across here, across there, down here, and we're going to have to, well, a bit more off there I think, and then we'll come across here, and then we're going to come down. Now it might get a bit crispy on that bit, that looks a bit rough, but you know, how far do you go? It doesn't really get any better further across, so we're going to have to just bridge that gap best we can. Bring it down here. Now, we found an extra hole when we were cleaning up, which is this one here, and there's a seam just behind it, so we're going to run right to that seam and we're going to weld basically on that seam. And the reason for that is it's double thickness, so it'll give us a lot more strength. So we're going to run up to there, and then I don't want to be right on that edge, so we're going to run pretty much something like that. There we go. We'll bring it down there. It'll be something like that. It's only a rough guy, but there's plenty of good metal around there, and that's keeping us well away from all that crusty area. Now, in addition to that, the good side of me is really tempted to cut out as much of this corrosion as we can, but certainly around this area here, just to get rid of that, because it's pretty rough, to be honest. And the same goes here. But we've got a cavity, which means there's going to be loads of spot welds and stuff lying around. And if we get into that, then it takes a lot more time to find and drill all those spot welds, and then we've got to drill the new plate so that it welds down to the plate underneath. So hey, maybe we'll just get the hammer and just tap all this down a little bit so we get more of a finish. Yeah. But this is really obvious when you're looking underneath, and having all these rusty edges, I'm not really happy with that. So I think we will cut something out along those lines there. Something like that. We'll just get rid of that bit, and then if need be, I'm going to have to go underneath later on and actually weld around on the other side, on the underside around there, just so it looks tidy for the warrant guy. But all this stuff, he can't see that, so we'll forget about that. Oh, there's a bit there, look, as well, so maybe we'll cut that bit out. So again, we can do a nice neat weld around that bit. Okay, more to go. So I'm going to cut those bits out first, and then we'll start measuring up a plate and get it folded into place and tacked in, and then welded in. Well, hey.
I'm just thinking out loud about it, because it would actually dampen the voltage spikes, which, you know, because arc welding is AC, then you get all these voltage spikes.
Yeah.
And the computer ground, see, the computer's still grounded with the chassis, even if you disconnect the battery.
Right. While I'm cutting this plate out, little job for you, Steve, since it's your car, you can hammer the crap out of it.
Okay.
Just tap down the high spots on the crusty bits in the middle.
Crusty bits in the middle.
Yeah, just so it sort of sits better with the plate.
Okay, I see. Oh yeah, those high spots. Have you got any more ear protection?
Now, while Steve's busy outside hammering the crap out of his car, I've made the first template, a very basic template to be honest, of that main plate for in the footwell. And we're going to cut that out of some 1.5mm mild steel plate. It is, I believe it's galvanized. It's got a very, very thin layer of sort of weld through protective coating, whether it's galvanized or not. I'm not too sure because it welds fine and gal tends to really upset the MIG. But I'll get it marked out and we'll get it cut out, and then we'll go and put it in the car and hopefully tack it into place, and then we can do the same for the second piece and get that tacked into place. And then I've got a lot of welding to do. Here we go. Okay, 330. That's only approximate, so. That's our 90 down there, which matches the drawing. So 330 up here as well. Now we've got another 90 there. And that must be 300, which is exactly the length of that. How cool is that? Right. There. And then here, I think. Come on, pal. Don't let me down now. Okay, let's get that cut out and see how we get on.
How we doing, Steve?
Well, no smoke underneath the car.
Cool. Right, which is all tacked in.
Cool.
So I've just got to do the full weld now.
Yeah, I'm going along the tunnel now, Steve, all right?
Okay, do you want me to look underneath? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, that's probably the highest, this is probably the highest risk weld now.
Yeah, and I've got oil underneath here too.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Well, the smoke comes and goes, which is a good sign that when it keeps coming, then we'll worry about it.
Okay, so that's the tunnel one done. So I'm going to do across the front of the firewall now,
Okay,
and that's the.
I see what you mean. We are getting sparks flying back. Chunk, chunk, chunk.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Hello, back seats. Are you on fire yet?
But no, as I said, the smoke comes and goes. So as long as it dies down, then it's only caused by you.
That's all right then.
It's not continuing.
We've not set something bigger alight.
Correct.
Pretty well. It's just good to have it nice and clean. It gives a much easier weld, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You only regret it when you look back and you go, what a lot of rubbish that was. Okay.
Looks good.
Hundreds of little spot welds all linked
Yeah,
together.
looks good.
It's going pretty well actually, and it
Yeah.
seems to match up underneath reasonably well. So I've just got to tap it back into contact, and then we can. I'll do the underneath bit last. We'll get this other one
Yeah.
plated up next. Go from there. Yeah. Okay then, crew. As you can see, we've finished the first one. That's all welded in. Just needs a bit of a sweep out and the paint. And the second one, the second patch, actually went in pretty well. And we didn't have any real fires and stuff, which was quite nice. So there you go, look. Not bad with 0.8 MIG wire. Anyway, there we go. Okay, I've got a little bit of welding to do underneath, and then we can get it all shutsed up and put the interior back in, and I can start my next job. Okay, so now we've finished the inside. We've just got this underside bit to do. Remember those bits by the brake pipes? Well, the brake pipes are just there, look, pulled out of the way. I've just got to tap this original floor pan up towards that new plate. I've got two little holes just to weld up, and obviously I've got to clean up under here as well, which is going to be immense fun trying to get in, but we'll get all that cleaned up, get it tapped into place, and I'll get that welded round, and then that'll be the finish of the welding. That'll be awesome. Okay, that's the underside all welded up. Didn't turn out too badly, and the fuel line, which is this rubber hose just here, didn't catch fire, which is unusual and fantastic. So yeah, that's all pretty good. We'll have one quick little look around the inside again, and then it'll be time to shut it all, put the underbody sealant on. Okay, so there we go. Final job, last quick look before we give it a quick vacuum out, and then we can get it all underbody sealed on the inside and underneath as well. So it turned out pretty good, considering how bad it was. It's a bloody miracle, to be honest, isn't it? Look at that, not bad. Okay. What a day. Okay, so all the welding, God, Jesus, I need a haircut. All the welding's done, and nothing caught fire. Even I didn't catch fire, which is extremely rare. That normally these Yamaha shirts tend to spontaneously combust the minute there's any sparks anywhere. But we now need to underbody seal the work that we've done. We're going to put the shuts on the inside of the vehicle as well, just to help protect everything, give it a layer of paint so it's not going to corrode. The main reason why the floor pan rotted out, well, the sunroof's leaking. So this floor pan needs all the help it can get until that's fixed. Now, I'm going to be using this 3M product here. It's part number 08861, as you can see, and it's used in conjunction with a Schutz's gun. Now, these obviously need an airline supplying to them. And this stuff, I've used it in England, I've used it here, and no, I'm not sponsored by 3M, but if 3M wants to send me some of this down, send it over, guys. It's really, really good stuff, and it leaves a very professional finish. It's nice and thick and gloopy, so it hides lots of problems, if you know what I mean. So it's good stuff. So if you're going to be underbody sealing your vehicle and you've got access to 3M products, give it a try. It's well worth it. It's not cheap. It's about, over here it's about $25 New Zealand per tin. In England about £10 per tin. And if you're doing a Nissan Patrol underneath, give you an idea, you're going to need 8 of these tins. Jesus. Okay, right, so it's now time to give the vehicle a bit of a vacuum out, get rid of all the welding splatter and the dirt and all the other crud that's lying around and the bits of rust and things, and then we can apply this, and that's going to be the end of the job. We're not going to refit the seat or the carpets today. I want this sealant to go nice and hard and dry before we refit the carpets, otherwise it'll act like a glue and it's just going to glue the carpets down. So I'm going to head outside, get this set up on the shuts gun, and basically get it all finished, and I'll show you the finished job before I sign the video off. Here we go. Wow, but you can't even spot where the hole is, can you? Just there you are, look, that was the big hole, and the little hole is actually under there somewhere. This shut stuff is really, really good actually. So we used up the whole can underneath, and then I used a whole other can on the inside. Not a lot of room under here, unfortunately. Cool, let's have a look on the inside. Okay.
It migrated out of my eye, so I'm okay.
Oh, good. Okay, sorry it's a bit dark, but that's what happens when you use black shuts. It all gets really dark. So there you go. That's the inside. That's the front panel, fully seam welded all the way around. And then coming back, that's the second panel that was under the seat, basically. Again, all welded into place. It came out pretty well, actually. Very, very happy with that. Good stuff. What do you reckon, Steve? Any good?
I think it's great.
You like that, do you?
I think I'm very pleased. And my only question is, how do I recompense you?
Oh,
'Cause, no, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how.
well, let me make some calls and find out what the going rate on K Road is, and I'll let you know. Well, finally, the job is done, and Steve has headed off in his Volvo back to Auckland. So it's all, you know, it actually, even though it started out as a job which I was like, holy crap, look at the state of this floor pan. Initially it was just a small area that needed a quick patch putting on, a couple of hours work, maybe even leave the carpet and the seat in, just do it from underneath. But I had a gut feeling and I wanted to see just how bad it really was. And okay, agreed, that repair was definitely not up to the kind of, certification standards that it should really have been done to, but it's an old car, it doesn't really go very far, it's not going to be on the road for much longer, it doesn't really warrant, replacing full floor pans and that kind of thing. It's a $500, sorry Steve, it's a $650 car, it's just not worth it. So I think the repair that we did was about the best we could possibly have done given the budget, and the car essentially, it has no real value. It's not a collectible as such, not unless you collect Volvos. I don't know anybody that collects Volvos. Anyway, so if you've got any questions or comments, then why not add them down below, and I'll do my very best to answer them for you. If you want to subscribe, then click on the subscribe button, which is probably up there on the, I don't know where it is, it's somewhere up there. Click on the subscribe button that you'll find at the bottom of the videos and stuff, and then you'll get a little gear icon. If you click on the gear icon, you can turn on notifications, and that way you'll get an email as and when I upload any new videos. You'll also find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and Google Plus as well, so you can communicate through any of those portals if you wish, but I would prefer, if you don't mind it being public, then stick it on YouTube, and that way everybody can see it, and it's at the same place as the video is. What else? I think that's about it really, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed the video. The welding wasn't the world's best, I know that, but it was okay. Couldn't really see what I was doing, there's a bit of sun glare on there. My name is Andy Young, and I'm one of the automotive lecturers at Unitec in Auckland. I don't teach welding, by the way. You've been watching the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Cheers, crew. Over and out.